Hi everyone, I'm Glenda with Surefit Designs. Lots of you already know me as GlendatheGoodStitch. It is my pleasure to have with me one of our international distributors, Elsabe Hurn.
Thank you so much, Glenda. And again, I am so happy to be doing these videos with you.
Yeah.
I think it just gives us such a big variety of things we can do working together with these videos.
Absolutely. And Elsabe is so incredibly creative. And so she's stimulating my brain cells, and we're having a great time doing this together. So Elsabe and I are going to team teach what we are calling this design and sew along. And what are we going to design today, Elsabe?
That is Martha's double twisted
Top.
Guys, I must apologize for me. This is quite a tongue twister.
Yeah. So we're going to focus on right here, which is this double twisted knot. And about 2 weeks ago, when Martha and her husband Robert from Australia were visiting me here in the United States, Martha showed me how to do this double twisted knot. So we are honoring Martha today and calling this design and sew along Martha's double twisted knot top.
Okay.
So Elsabe and I today are going to show you a little bit about the design. We're going to be focusing on the bodice front primarily.
Yes.
Elsabe is going to be teaching you how to move the dart from the side seam to the front, and then we're going to be sewing it together. And I know one of the things you're going to be asking about is the sleeve that I've got in here. Well, this sleeve is one of our newest fashion leaflets.
Fashion leaflets, yes.
And we called this one the Princess, what was it? The Princess pleated sleeve,
yes.
I think. And it's because the underarm seam from the sleeve went to the top of the sleeve, and then out of that we put these pretty pleats in the side. Yeah. But the thing with this top, Elsabe didn't want to put this particular sleeve in.
Yeah, I always want a plainer top purely because of having a bigger bicep measurement. So I'm trying to not draw a lot of attention to it. So, so that is my way of designing, and all of us are designing for our own bodies at the end of the day, and that's what I'm comfortable with.
Exactly. So you'll see hers at the end of this whole design and sew along. Elsabe is going to have just a plain 3/4 length sleeve in her top.
And I think we should also mention to the ladies out there that as you can see, it's two totally different bodies.
Yes.
So we've got a smaller bust, and then we've got a D cup on this side. So we are really going to show you that, you know what, you are designing for your body and you can make it fit your body at the end of the day.
Exactly, exactly. And so when it comes to the sleeve options, I would just like to point out to you where you can get some design ideas. And so if we take a look at these two books that I have out on the table, on page 26 of the dress kit instruction book, which comes inside your Surefit Designs dress kit, here you'll see how to do a cap sleeve, and Martha actually did a sew-in cap sleeve, and I've put up a photograph of her wearing her twisted top. And then in the other designing book that we have, it's called Bodices That Mix and Multiply, Beyond Bodice Basics. On page 28, you'll see a variety of different sleeves, and I think a real pretty sleeve for in here, it would be this flutter sleeve.
That flutter sleeve would also be beautiful.
Which is where it just kind of flows right above your elbow area. But the nice thing about this Beyond Bodice Basics book is that it comes with a DVD tutorial showing you how to do all of these different kinds of sleeves. So you've got lots and lots of different options. So now we would like to talk with you about fabric choice. The blouse that I've been wearing has been done out of a slinky. Now, for those of you who have used slinky, it's basically the same color, front and back. And the reason I didn't go ahead and we decided not to use this in this demonstration is because it's all the same color. And so when we start doing the twisting, it just gets a little confusing to your eyeballs.
I know. So you'll end up having to rewind that video so many times just to try and see what's happening with that twist.
Right. So anyway, this is what I used. It has all kinds of stretch to it. And you can size your pattern down if you want it closer to your body. But because I'm so small busted, I like my garments loose. And so Elsabe will be showing you a totally different version of hers.
Yeah, I do like a little bit more shape, purely because of my body shape again. So
exactly.
Try to take the attention away from the hips.
So size down if you want to, and that certainly is an option. And why don't you talk about this piece of fabric, Elsabe?
Okay, so for this fabric as well, which will also make one of those beautiful tops again, and I think it's very important to just mention it again, the top must have, or the fabric must have a lot of drape.
Yes.
If it doesn't have drape, it is really going to let that knot stand away from your body. It is not going to pull, I would say, so nicely over the bust area to accentuate that area for you. So this one is our viscose knit that we have. And again, as you are looking at it, can you see that drape that we have? Very important again, test your twist. If you're going to twist it, we want to make sure that we will get a nice knot in this area. As soon as it's a harder fabric or a stiff fabric, it is not going to give us that twist that we want, because you can see it is quite a nice twist that we want on that area.
Right, exactly. So the fabric really has to be soft and drapeable. So here's another piece. This is, what did you call this?
This was the DTY. That's a DTY.
DTY knit. Okay. A really fun piece. I've got this up on the wall behind me as part of our wall decor today. But this would also be very suitable because of how nicely it's going to twist. It also is not going to wrinkle, and I think you would really, you know, get a really excellent, good top out of that one.
Yes. And again, it's going to be up to you if you actually want to size down a little bit, or like Glenda, keep your bodice blueprint size as it is when you're going to design it. I think also you don't want to size down too much, because you do need just that little bit of give there for that twist that's going to happen. So maybe test it first just on your pattern the way it is.
Right.
And then decide to take in the side seams. That's what we're going to do with mine.
Yes. And Elsabe is talking about your pattern. The pattern we're referring to is your dress kit bodice blueprint. Okay? One that you've already done any fitting refinements that you need to do. And so this is like, as I've commented before in my design and sew-alongs, these design and sew-alongs are all for you to gain confidence in taking your body blueprint and doing something unique and different with it. So we have one last piece.
All right, so this little piece, and this is the one we're actually going to make my top out of. Like Glenda mentioned, we've got this beautiful print, and then we've got the lighter color. So visually, it's going to be easy for you to follow along when that twist is being done. Now, this is called a super soft. We are finding a lot of these super softs in our shops at the moment. And if you've never worked with a super soft before, you can see it is drapey, it is soft, and it's basically got, if you feel it, it's got that, I would say, the thickness of a chiffon fabric, but it's not sheer like your chiffon fabric. So that is the only way I can actually compare it to. But again, look at that. If we start twisting where we want to twist, it's going to give us that beautiful twist happening at the center of the bust area. But really,
center front.
Yeah, the center front.
Right.
Okay, sorry, at the center front of the bust area.
Right.
So, but this is really the weight of a chiffon.
Yeah, and it's an absolutely beautiful piece. Now, this is actually a woven fabric. But even, and I know we just finished telling you to use a knit fabric, but the thing about this super soft is it is so incredibly soft, even though it's a woven, that it's just going to twist and knot really beautifully. But also interesting about this woven fabric is it doesn't have a lot of fraying or raveling in it. But when we start twisting this, you're going to see the wrong side, which is basically white, and then the front side, which is printed. So you'll really be able to see how we twist this knot in the front. Okay, is there anything else, Elsabe, that we need to tell them about?
No, I think we've actually covered everything that's important, the fabric that they're going to use, and I think we've covered everything for them.
Great. So in the next lesson, Elsabe is going to be showing you how to take your bodice front pattern and move this dart from the side seam to center front, and then we will start twisting.